Good evening, friends. In this video, we are going to discussing some important topics that very important topics for mains 2019 and 20, the upcoming exam. At first, rural tourism, very useful for a country like India, where almost 74% of the population reside in its 7 million villages. Rural tourism models of a state like Kerala, backwater sport, Karnataka, forest tourism sport, Tamil Nadu, temple tourism, villages, etc. Rural life, art and culture and heritage at the rural location. Next, that is Iswar Chand Vidyasagar, 200th birthday. Key figure of Bengal Renaissance, played a huge role for the emancipation of women. Child marriage, launched a powerful attack on the practice of marrying of girls aged 10 or even younger, pointing to social, ethical and hygiene issue and rejecting the validity of Dharma Shastra that advocate it. Vocational education, he lobbied hard for opening of school for girls and even outlined suitable curriculum that not only did educate them but also enable them to be self-reliant through the vocation like needlework. Hashtag activism, powerful tool. This is a powerful tool. Hashtag activism can be a powerful way to control a narrative regarding a common cause that has either been neglected or misrepresented by corporate media. Multiple effect. There are roughly 2 billion people on Facebook and users spend an average of an hour a day on a site. Huge impact on society across the globe. Tool for the harassment. They can create a negative impact on someone's image or organization, which might also demoralize the purpose of which they are formed. Example, Me Too movement. Next topic, that is social capital. Civil society. A proactive civil society can take can take up a cause of common people and work towards their welfare. For example, HelpAge India, NGO working for disadvantaged elderly of India. Healthy, health, a good social capital leads to reduce the isolation due to the urban lifestyle, improved health service delivery among people and helps improve the average mortality rates. Economic development, a good social capital will enhance trade relation among people and nation, thus helping in mutual economic development. For example, India's trade with Bangladesh is better as compared to Pakistan due to the better social capital in former case. Next topic, that is nutrient based subsidy. Under its fixed amount of subsidy is decided by the government on annual basis and is improved and provided on each graded of subsidized P and K fertilizer except for urea. Based on the nutrient content present in them, it was launched in 2010. It is being implemented by the Department of Fertilizer under the Ministry of Fertilizer. The government's total subsidy burden for nutrient based fertilizer is 22,875 crore and something more. The scheme was extended to 145 million farmer. Next topic, that is World Heritage Site. There are 37 UNESCO World Heritage Site in India, including 29 cultural, 7 natural and 1 mixed heritage. World Heritage Sites are the sites that are listed by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, that means UNESCO. Kanchenjunga National Park, Sikkim has been inscribed India's first mixed World Heritage Site on UNESCO World Heritage list. Next topic, that is Pokhran 1998, 20 years. Operation Shakti 1998. Operation Smiling Buddha 1974. The Pokhran test brought immediate international condemnation from the world that has officially scorned nuclear testing since 1996 by endorsing comprehensive test ban treaty which prohibits all nuclear tests. Next, that is modernization and westernization. Modernization involves changes not only at the institutional level but also the fundamental changes at the personal level, rational transformation of society. Westernization is a process of imitation of Western countries by non-Western countries. Next topic, that is Carnatic or Hindustani music, birth century of D.K. Pattamal. Carnatic or Carnatiki music is a system of music associated with the southern part of the Indo subcontinent. Hindustani music is associated with the North India and it is deeply influenced by the Persian and Islamic music system. Hindustani music is a rag based while Carnatic is kriti based. Hindustani stresses pure notes versus gamkha based Carnatiki ragas. Physiographic landforms that are the tourist attraction: cliff, an erosional landform produced by the wave action, which is either at the seaward edge of the coast or the landward side of the wave cut platform. Example, White Cliff of Dover. Sea arches. A sea arch is a natural opening eroded out of a cliff faced by marine process like azure window, blowhole. When sea caps grow towards the land and upwards, creating a vertical shaft that expose on the surface, it result is a blowhole. Example, Nakle Point in Hawaii. Local winds effect on socio-economic condition of a region. Buran. It blow in Central Asia and Siberia. It is a strong cold northeasterly winds which reduces the temperature up to 30 degree. Mistra. It blows in Rohan Valley of France. It cold winds blowing during the winters. It has adverse effect on orchard. Burj. It blows in the South Africa. It blows mainly in the winter due to the anticyclonic effects in the interior, causing uncomfortable weather for people and damage to the crops. Ambedkar vision for independent India. A free India would be a model democracy that redistributed power to the marginalized and purged society of oppressive social institutions, beliefs and practices. Ambedkar's view on constitutional morality and parliamentary process were founded in Buddhism. Ambedkar's support for creating states on the basis of linguistic lines stemmed from his belief that social homogeneity would make democracy work better. Next topic, that is impact of the capitalism and patriarchy on the nature of women's work. Women are being pushed towards the home-based work. In the capitalist society, women engaged in home-based work are denied the status of workers, considered as a cheap and flexible labor. Guru Nanak 550 birth anniversary. Guru Nanak was the first of the 10th Sikh Guru. Guru Nanak founded the Sikh sacred scripture Guru Granth Sahib. Development of Kartarpur corridor from the Dera Baba Nanak in Gurdaspur districts, Punjab to the international border. Women's in cities. Delhi Metro, free access for women. Women's access to economic, social and cultural life of a city has always been constrained as she could never circulate freely. Urban spaces to provide women and especially migrant women with the anonymity which allow them to escape the patriarchal holds of family and community. However, their ability to engage with the urban space is severely limited by the experiences of gender violence. Public spaces for women have traditionally been intermediate space, a space between the two private spaces. Next topic, that is social mobility in India. There is a higher occupational mobility among forward caste than among scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. There is a much greater occupational mobility in urban areas than the rural areas. World Bank study on intergenerational income correlation, which measure the extent to which parents' income are reflected in the incomes earned by the children, high in India. Zonal Cultural Center to protect and promote and preserve various forms of folk art and culture throughout the country, including Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and Odisha. The government of India has set up 7 zonal cultural centers with the headquarters of Patiala, Nagpur, Udaipur, Prayagraj, Kolkata, Dimapur, and Tanjore. The North Zonal Cultural Center, which was established in November 1985 with its headquarters in Patiala, the first zonal culture center established in the country. Next topic, that is language, Indian society, 3 language formula. Constitution of India, 8 scheduled, 22 language. Draft new education policy 2019, mandatory teaching of Hindi in non-Hindi speaking states. Though officially there are 122 languages, Equally Linguistic Survey of India has identified 780 languages, of which 50 are extinct in the past 5 decades. Lynchings in India. Lynchings are motivated by the prejudice and a need to assert dominance over an oppressed group. Rajasthan Legislative Assembly passed the Rajasthan Protection from Lynching Bill 2019 to provide for strict punishment for those convicted for mob lynching. Next topic, that is globalization. Globalization is a combination of the words globalization and localization. The term is used to describe a product or service that is developed and distributed globally, but it is also adjusted to accommodate the user or the consumer in the local market. Local supply chain, example, Lay's source their potatoes from Indian farmers, customizing to the local trading or tradition, like Domino's only vegetarian menu during Navratri festival in Gujarat. Wow. Intersectional feminism. Intersectional feminism examines the overlapping system of oppression and discrimination that women face based not just on gender but also ethnicity, sexuality, economic class, region and creed, disability, creed, sexual orientation, age and number of other axes. Women opportunities gap. The next topic. India rank 180 global gender gap index. India's female labor force participation rate is just 23.3% in 2017-18. Women's MP member of parliament in Lok Sabha just 14.3%. Arctic wildlife fires. The next topic. While wildlife fires are common at this time of year, record breaking summer temperature and strong winds have made this year fires particularly bad. Area affected eastern Russia and Alaska. Unlike the lower latitude wildfires, most of the carbon emission from Arctic fires come from burned organic soil rather than burned trees and shrubs. When particles of smoke land on the snow and ice, the ice absorbs sunlight that it would otherwise reflect and thereby accelerate the warming in Arctic. Next, that is residential segregation in urban India. A recent longitudinal study by Singh et al. 2019 using 2001 and 2011 census data show that residential segregation persisted or worsened in 60% of the Indian cities. Using census 2011 data in Bangalore, there are many neighbors with no SC/ST population and neighborhoods with substantial SC/ST population, denoting high segregation. Disability among the old people. Higher disability rates among the older people reflect an accumulation of health risk across a lifespan of disease, injury, and chronic illness WHO. There is a bi-directional link between disability and poverty. India's elderly population 60 or more is growing 3 times faster than population as well as a whole. It is projected that the percentage of elderly will climb from 8% in 2010 to 19% in 2050. Next topic, that is flood mitigation strategy. Planting of the tree and mangrove belts along the river bank and coastline, plant settlement growth, shared flood warning mechanism, recharge and rejuvenation of wetlands, identification and assessment of the flood prone areas. Next, that is drought mitigation, adoption of micro irrigation techniques, stringent application of water harvesting measure not only on the individual level but also the community and village level too. Sichwal model can be implemented especially in the acute water deficit area. This model is currently being extended along the banks of the Ganga, wastewater recycling facilities in urban and industrial center to allow for non-drinking uses. Agriculture practices should focus on more crop per drop, agroclimatic basic for the crop selection. Thanks a lot. In this video we discussed only 27 important topics. I will come once again in my next video. So thanks a lot for watching this video.